Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Counter-Strike Go Pro League, ESL, of course. So, let's talk about that one briefly, and I do mean briefly. Na'Vi, NIP, we could probably skip over Mirage because, frankly, that was a bit of a mess. Guardian obviously having internet issues and couldn't be in there for the moment. Starix trying to rekindle some of his youth, but sadly not to be. But let's just skip straight past Mirage and let's go straight back to Train, because that's really where the action happened. We thought NIP started brilliant. Forest pulled out an ace in the second round. It was like, here we go, this is it. We said Forest had to deliver, and he almost did, but they fell apart when they got to the CT side.
Yeah, which is really surprising to me as well, because we talked about how we haven't seen too much of NIP playing Train or playing at all with the new lineup. But what we saw from them last week versus Dignitas, their CT side was where they did most of the work. So I was going into that thinking, wow, they might be able to do it. They got off to such a strong start. You mentioned the Forest ace in the Eco round. So I was thinking to myself, well, okay, we're actually going to see NIP kind of trounce Na'Vi here, and that's going to bode well going into the second map. And I don't even know what happened properly on that CT side, because they just fell apart. Obviously, largely due to the fact that Na'Vi have an extremely solid T side on that map. But you know, that was felt like kind of like the Mouse Sports NIP games we saw yesterday, where NIP probably should have closed that train, but weren't able to do it.
Yeah, I think Edward was really good for Na'Vi. I think he got a lot of big important rounds, big important kills. They just kind of shut him down on the main like 5 rounds that they won on CT. I feel like he actually got most of the big kills, like a big opening important kills, and then they just, I guess, on T side, on T side, Na'Vi just trampled it really. Like it was impressive, lots of big strats, and it was just like there's nothing Nick could really do.
Well, you guys don't forget to get involved with the Score Esports app as well. You can obviously get that online, iOS or Google Play. But let's move on. Let's talk about Astralis up against Virtus.Pro briefly. And I do mean briefly. Apparently, they're almost ready to go. I'm not sure the casters are quite ready to go, but it is going to be the next matchup. Astralis, of course, coming into this one, they got a 4-2 record, but Virtus.Pro, they got their first win finally against Envious. They split 1-1 yesterday.
Yeah, and that was an impressive showing from VP, and we kind of got to see bootcamp VP, not just online game VP, because there's a pretty significant difference, and I think everyone who's followed VP for a significant amount of time knows that that's a LAN team. They're, well,
the whole hot and cold that we get with Virtus.Pro. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think we're going to see Taz drop 40 today, but I still think we're going to see a very competitive VP side. The maps are pretty good for both teams, I'd say.
Yeah, it's Overpass and Cash for the next actually 2 games as well.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to say. I said it at the start of the day. I think we're going to see a really good game. This is my game to watch, really. So really excited to see how this Overpass game plays out, because I think that's where VP has to steal it away from Astralis if they want to get a map here.
And what do we think of the whole new device playing the main AWP role now? Finally, actually locking down the main AWP role.
Yeah, I mean, I love it personally. The fact that he just tells Karrigan at the beginning, I want to go here, I want to get the kill, and he just does, and they just kind of revolve around him. Especially on Overpass, like on CT side, he will just go anywhere, and it's so hard to play against it. Like you just have to expect him everywhere, really. So.
Yeah, I remember Henry talking about him last week. It was actually all about with he was casting with Matt, and it was when he was basically, he didn't know where he was going to be. He was over at Long. He pushed down restrooms. Next thing, he was over at B. He was pushing around into Monster, having a little peek down there. So he was catching the teams off guard. It's obviously something Virtus.Pro going to have to deal with. But Neo's been doing a pretty damn good job on the AWP himself.
Yeah, no, he's been really impressive as of late. We saw that yesterday on Cobble, especially, and he's not even afraid to be the first guy in. Even if he has an op, he's willing to take those first peaks, and he's been doing it with a pretty high success rate as well. And you talked about Device, how he's being a constant nuisance. Neo can be that for VP as well, and I think VP are better off having Neo op instead of Pasha, and I think Astralis are better off just having Device being fully focused on that op.
So who do we think these maps favor? It is going to be Overpass and Cash. Who do we think comes out on top on these?
I think on both, just slightly, I'd say Astralis. But at the same time, VP are very good on both the maps. So I think it's going to be really close. Maybe some overtimes. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I remember looking at the stats last year when we were coming up to the finals, and Virtus.Pro had played the most times on Overpass by far ahead of anyone on LAN. So it seems to be like a map they always lean towards, but never do that well on.
Yeah, no, it is kind of one of those maps, and it's weird to watch them play because oftentimes you'd see them struggle versus a team that has a really good A defense like Astralis. And they'll just continue to attack A over and over again. And you're like, well, why don't you try the V-bomb side over the... Yeah, exactly. Else? So you're thinking to yourself, well, you could just try it at least once, see what happens.
But they haven't got a Nico, man. They haven't got a Nico just to walk into B side and just rip them people apart.
That's true. But a team like VP does have something that Mouse actually fell back on Overpass yesterday when Nico was getting shut down, and that's those executes on B. And VP have a ton of solid executes towards B, which I hope we're going to see a lot of. I hope actually they have a heavy focus on that B-bomb side if they're getting shut down on A. So... that's going to be the big thing for me. I think VP are going to take Overpass if they're able to realize that we're getting stuck on this bomb site, so we have to adapt. We have to do something different instead of just banging our heads towards the wall.
Yeah, what about Cash? I'm going to spin my mind back. I swear to God it was G2 that they played, that G2 played these on Cash. Where was it? When G2 were ripping people apart on B site. When was it? Was it Astralis? It was Astralis, yeah. Cash, it was week 1. 16-8, G2 beat Astralis 16-8 on Cash. I'd see my mind. I'm old, but it's still there, boys. It's still there. Just about. But yeah, they got absolutely trounced by the set players from G2 on Cash. I think DDK's actually just done a segment on it recently. So how are they going to deal with this? Like, if VP could just, if DDK's done a segment on it, you're damn right that VP's probably looked at it and said, yeah, that's actually, let's see how we can do this. Because Astralis were just falling apart there. And that was Device, by the way, that was in B site.
Yeah, no, this is the thing. You know, obviously it was a weakness that they would have been able to fix by now, or hopefully been able to work on.
But how? When? When would they have done it?
Well, it's not
on the road.
Well, not necessarily in terms of they've been able to practice a ton of games and get it out that way, but obviously a ton of times you can see very open or very clear glitch in your defense or what kind of spots on the map they're abusing due to the setup you're doing. So you can theorize about it and work on it that way. And sometimes that's all the kind of change you need. You don't really have to play out a ton of games to actually see that this is the right answer. Sometimes it is pretty glaring.
See, I'm surprised that Cash has got through, because obviously the way the veto works is they blind ban. It's not like a case of they're both together banning the maps. They blind ban the maps. But they've left Cash to go through, and I know for a fact back at Barcelona, because I was talking with Graham Messioso, the ref, who's probably doing the refereeing tonight actually. They were vetoing out Cash like as their first map. This is Astralis. They were getting rid of Cash, so they've let it through against Virtus.Pro. So is this a case of they're like, okay, we kind of know what we want to do, and let's test it out against the likes of Virtus.Pro?
Well, it also goes back to the fact that the Astralis are a team that have been a bit up and down in their performance as of late, and they've said that they're trying out new things. So maybe they want to let Cash through because they feel like they've been working on it. They've got some new stuff that they want to try out, that type of thing, and they feel like it's such a popular map that can, or it's not their weakest map by far, so that can't be their new veto map. So they're going to have to learn how to play versus good teams on it.
Yeah.
And when you've got tournaments like Katowice coming up, then you kind of have to get a good feel for what's going on with your team.
I mean, they might have even looked at Virtus.Pro's like recent performance before yesterday and just thought, well, if they're losing to these people in these kind of maps, maybe we just play Cash.
Yeah.
Like we're not the best at it, but at the moment
we're better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I know Cobble's also a bad one for Astralis, isn't it? Cobble's another one they probably banned out, so they probably go use their ban on that instead.
Yeah, it's a map there very odd to watch. I remember the first time they let it through, which was I think Fragbite Masters versus Fnatic of all teams.
Well, they're gonna be doing that tomorrow, aren't they?
Yeah. So, and we were thinking to ourselves, like, well, they must be mad. Why would you let through that map and they end up winning Cobblestone? But after that, they haven't had too much success with it.
See, that's the thing. When you have a best of 5, like they're going to have tomorrow. It is tomorrow, isn't it? It's Thursday tomorrow.
I think so. Yeah, it's Thursday tomorrow.
I don't know where I am right now. Yeah, they're up against Fnatic in that best of 5, and these are the situations when you start having these best of 5s, which I'm really hoping, by the way, everyone that's running events, and I do keep bashing on to this one, I start to hope we get some best of 5 finals more and more. I know it can be a real lengthy process, but best of 5 finals are magnificent to watch. Absolutely. But it also shows how shallow some teams' map pool can be.
Absolutely. And that's kind of where you see the strength of a team like Fnatic, who doesn't really have a very weak map. Yeah. So, in a best of 5, they're going to be like, well, bring it on.
Bring it on,
yeah,
indeed.
we can play all of this. And for others, it's going to be like, well, we kind of just want to avoid these things.
Well, anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's get over to the game. It's going to be Astralis up against Virtus.Pro, and it will, of course, be on Cash and Overpass. But it's going to be Overpass first. Let's go over to the Don, who I believe is probably casting that match tomorrow.
Wait. So,
What was that beatboxing?
yeah.
What was that?
I don't know. It was horrible.
This is your new entrance.
It was horrible. It was horrible. But I'm not even, yeah.
Okay.
So, what's up, everybody? Welcome back.
I have lost the turtleneck, by the way.
I know you have, but
got
that's
it.
the problem, man. I got to come up with a new nickname for you now. You're supposed to be on my
like-
bruiser, you know?
I
You're supposed to, like,
we can do
Turtle,
it.
that was...
We can do a bit of this. We can have a bit of that going on. That's a gimmick, right?
Okay, I got it. Your nickname is Chesties.
Chesties. Or Chesty G. That could be better.
Chesty G.
Yeah. But anyway, we
Done.
do have another game of Counter-Strike here. Hopefully a little bit more climactic than what we saw on the last map. Mirage obviously let down by some internet issues there, but we're going to be getting into this one. It's going to be Astralis versus VP. How do you feel about this one coming up? VP looking a little bit stronger since they've hit the boot camp.
I agree, man. Like, we got a real treat from them last night.
Yeah.
And that was revitalized VP. They finally succeeded in breaking this losing streak they've been on. So they're like 1-9 in the group so far. They went 1-1 last night. And so we have to see how they're going to measure up versus one of the best in the world. I mean, yes, we're used to saying VP are one of the best in the world, but they haven't really been playing like it recently since the beginning of the year. So
yeah, they've only really been playing any league though, right? It's just the online stuff. They're kind of getting back into the swing of things. They're all family men. Obviously, it's a hectic time of year.
Yep.
Coming out of December into January and stuff, kind of adjusting themselves. But now they've got Katowice coming up. They've got the major coming up. They're boot camping. They're ready to hit it hard now. So you feel like yesterday was like an example of what they can do, and they still had the potential to do it. Beating Envious overtime on Cobble is a very impressive performance from them. And I think the second map went down to like 16-13 as well. So they actually looked very strong yesterday, actually. So going against Astralis, Overpass is definitely traditionally a very strong map for VP. I haven't seen him play it since we hit 2016. So it'll be interesting to see what they bring to the table here. Obviously, on their gun rounds, especially on the terrorist side, they're kind of famed for defining what the B execute should be. They had one of the scariest B executes in the game. Like teams like Navi didn't have any idea how to shut that down for a while. It was very impressive. So I'm sure we'll see some cool stuff like that. But obviously, we're going against Device. Devo.
no,
Devo's
No.
not a thing anymore.
no, it's not. It was never a thing.
I know. I hated that. But
We killed that before it was able. You know, it was still like if we were in the States right now.
Yeah.
You know, the far right would have something to say about what we did to Devin. Like that just never even happened. It never even happened. Device, however, the monster, the beast, you know, something that the analyst just covered on the desk, the main opper for Astralis.
Yeah,
he's doing work.
well, this was one of the maps he orbed on anyway. So, and it's just got better and better on this one. He looks.
I feel like the last time we saw him play, he dropped a 30 bomb, right?
Yeah.
On this map right here. So this is definitely a map that he can do some damage on, and I like to see that they make him the raid boss as well. They give him the Tech 9, he's got the Kevlar.
Set him up.
So yeah, exactly. Set him up to do magical, wondrous things to blow our minds.
Well, they've got one smoke and a decoy on towards a Device. So in terms of the tactical execution, the options are pretty limited. You know, they can probably go towards B, smoke towards Heaven, and he just cracking open a Red Bull there.
Yes, Lee. I'm having another energy drink. Stop me.
Come at me. So it's going to be quite a simple tactic. I think they'd go look towards middle to start, get towards connector, have one player lurking towards B, then smoke towards Heaven, smoke that off, bust into a bomb site, and similar sort of scenes we saw in training. As long as you get the bomb down, it's a post-spawn situation. And we'll have a look at what VP are bringing to the table. They've got 4 sets of armor right now, and I think Taz is yet to buy. He'll probably get the HE and Diffuse kit. It's like,
One hopes.
yeah, well, that's what most teams are. Like, that's what Fnatic are doing right now. That's what Crims is always getting the Diffuse kit HE. We saw Navi doing as well. Envy is still going for the 5 sets of armor. And
Yes,
that's
and so did G2.
Yeah, I can't say it's my favorite approach. It feels like it's so high risk for me.
Well, it's just like matchmaking, you know what I mean? It's just like, hey, who got a kit? I thought you were getting the kit.
Obviously, we have the extra 5 seconds now, but still, want to make the extra 5 seconds 10 seconds. Like, it makes sense, right? Like, the pistol, and if you're going to get a headshot, like, that armor's going to be redundant anyway. I'd much rather have the Diffuse kit going forward. There's going to be 5 sets of armor for VP, so they've got to...
Taz was listening, and
Yeah,
he was like,
like-
you know what, Henry, you need to shut up.
So,
Are you in this server? Have you won a world championship? Nah, you're playing in matchmaking.
I don't play matchmaking. I don't play any CS right now. I'm just talking about it all the time.
This isn't CGS anymore, Henry.
No, rest in peace. It's a full-on beat rush, you know, coming from Astralis. No messing around. It's straight in there. It's quite a defensive. The boost is coming in from VP here. They're not going to get anything out of it, though. So the bomb should be planted. There's the smoke towards upper as well. And they're going to be swarming the CTs here. It's getting in there, stifling them as well. But Bialy stepping up. Only gets one for his trouble zone. The rotation's coming in thick and fast here. It's going to be Occasion B to lock one down. But Pasha doing work now. It's actually a man advantage in VP's favour.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Device. 2 headshots for him with the Tech 9. Cajun B coming into the fray now as well with that P2K. And it's just not going to work out here for Virtus.Pro. It looked like there was a moment where they could have done something beautiful. And then Device just had to go and ruin it for him.
Well, that raid boss mentality comes up massive, right? He's just waiting for them to run into his crosshair, locks them down completely, finds the 2 kills, and that's the round over at that point. He was just poised and ready for it. And VP looking like they won't be forcing into this. Oh, Taz is. Oh, maybe they are forcing into it. Double scouts, they were just working out how they're going to do it. So double scouts coming into this. A scout can be a very efficient weapon on Overpass. So many different opportunities towards long and then towards upper and B bomb side as well. So many jumping opportunities, so many different cool angles and boosts you can do, especially towards short as well. So I don't mind this. Let's see what they can do with it. So early stages of the game.
Oh yeah, you can see Pasha, he's taking in 1 out over here to long. Bit of a predictable angle, usual spot that you'll run into a scout. But he's going to miss his first shot, and then he's just going to go obviously for the jump shot, right? Trying to change up the angle, trying to make it interesting. And he does get that tag on a Device. The only problem is he spends a little bit too long here, and there's literally nobody here to back him up. So that's where you realize, yes, Pasha, it's cool. You can jump with the scout, but maybe you shouldn't be that far forward if you don't have anybody on the site to back you up.
It's like the Hail Mary play, right? Like most teams on their anti, I'm going to be rushing A bombs like that. They're going to be slowing it right down, working the picks and trying to smoke him out sort of thing. It's just a nice reaction from Astralis, I guess. It was an all-in moment from VP, stacking towards that B bomb site, hoping the scout can do some work. He hits the tag, and he's trying to make something happen with it, but Device does find that frag onto Bialy. And that's another weapon dropped. They still have a scout on towards Neo and upgraded pistols and head armor on Taz as well. So you'd assume they're going to be just trying to save these weapons. Obviously, literally no chance of winning the round now. So just trying to do a little bit of work. Neo does land a scout tag, and Taz waiting to be baited in as well. This could be interesting. No one's going to be going for it.
No, it's not exactly. It's going to be pretty par for the course, actually.
Yeah.
But I suppose what happens is they save 2 guys. They save 2 Kevlars. They've got 3 guys that survive the round. Virtus.Pro, the Astralis end up making just a little bit less money. But they have something to work with here. Neo, he's going to be equipped, and we have to keep an eye on him just to see where he decides to take that scout. If he's going to stay up on A site, trying to apply some pressure to long, or if he's going to change it up. And it does look like, for now, he wants to head into mid, at least to begin with here. Only problem is, Astralis, they rushed A last round. Now they rush B.
Why not?
Wow.
Neo's going to be there waiting for them. I think he landed a shot on the Device once again, doing a little bit of damage. Dupree's going down low as well, and Carrigan is going to be the one opening up. Dupree taking down Neo finally, but the damage has been inflicted. Pasha gets the bomb, though.
What in the hell was the bomb doing there?
I have no idea, but he's got it. And Snacks, if he finds his kill as well, they do take down Pasha. It's going to be ended, but when that bomb was dropped, it could have got nasty for Astralis there. And like you're absolutely right. Why is the bomb not with the main wolf pack going into the bomb? So that's where it should be, not isolated towards short. But
he was sick. You know, it wasn't a wolf pack that we just saw right there. It was actually a herd of buffalo, and Kerrigan was the calf.
Okay, yeah,
Got split up from the herd
and taken down by a cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
If they do exist in the
That's
same
what I'm
world,
saying. Except they got taken down by a bear, right?
Okay.
Because bears hunt in packs, at least in Poland they do. So Virtus.Pro, you know, they got some work done. They got a little bit of a meal. It was a short one, though. And now we get into the real bit here. This is now going to be the big round here for Virtus.Pro.
Well, this is the thing. It was a force play in the second round. There's no orbs, there's no kits. There's 2 smokes remaining as well. Astralis are going to be well aware of this situation. They'll just be slowing things right down now. Probably looking by the setup right now, going for a B setup eventually where the bomb is. But 3 players for VP start towards that area. And we can see Pasha making his way towards long as well. He's going to be baited in by Snacks for now as well. But you have to feel for the CTs here. It's a very difficult predicament for them. No one's showing too much aggression as well. Not trying to find that first pick. And it's just going to be a matter of time before Astralis are aware there's no utility left for the CTs. And then you can see they've got, what, 4 smokes remaining, Molotovs. They could do a full execution here and just have an absolutely easy entrance to a bomb site.
Luckily for Pasha, there's nobody here to back up Device. Like this long push, I hate Pasha's position because it's so far to get back to that A site into safety. So he really needs a bit of a lucky break here. And there we go. He actually catches Device looking the wrong way. In the meantime, the push onto B, Zipmix and Cajun B will take out Taz and Bialy. There's still a man alive here on the site, and both Cajun, well, and Zipmix obviously are very low. But now a 2-on-2. Pretty solid after plant as well, considering Kerrigan can push up to CT here. And now it's all up to Cajun. Cajun just needs to stay alive. Not even peek. Let Kerrigan do the work. Let Kerrigan take point. And there's a free kill on Pasha, who forgets that you can look right as well as left.
Yeah, some people do forget that. It is a key thing in Counter-Strike, looking both ways. Much like crossing the street in many respects. But we're just going to have Snacks remaining now. Decent flashbang, actually. You're going to take down Kerrigan here. Hasn't got the kit, though. But Cajun B, 2 HP. I'd assume he just won't face in this fake defuse situation. I wouldn't be facing it. It's just not worth it. He might as well take the risk that he's going for it. And he hasn't. Well, it's going to be close, but I think he's got it.
Nope.
Oh, he's going out. Okay. Well, there we go. Easy stuff then.
That was actually pretty close. If he'd had a kit, it was over. It was donezo. So Cajun, a bit of a lucky break for him, honestly. Or maybe Kerrigan was able to call that Snacks didn't have a kit.
Yeah, he could have spotted that.
Maybe there's a little bit of info that he could have played with there, knowing that the
fact
kit
is,
wasn't
it's
there.
on 2 HP though. Like you're right. If he did have a kit, that's such a difficult situation. Like most of the time, he's like, okay, if he's full defusing, and if he's not, if I face, I'm definitely dead. I can't win the round. But if you don't face at all, at least you have that. You can bank on that kind of situation and think, well, I'm going to do something with this, and hopefully he has gone for the fake defuse. I've automatically won the round. But there we go. VP did not win the first gun round. It was a very equal exchange. We're going very aggressive towards middle now. Zipex ready though, takes down the first kill, and it seems like VP can't really do much with this. Just Pasha coming on to kill onto Occasion B, and the Snacks remaining. He does have an AK-47 though, so going to be getting away with that.
Yeah, fantastic crossfire actually there from Astralis. They kept their cool. They just brought those rifles to bear, and there wasn't really a whole lot that VP could get done. Occasion B is dead. But then Snacks has got that AK that he saved from the last round. So now at least they know, okay, well, we got an idea of where Snacks is playing from. He's up on this A site. In the meantime, Astralis are going to head over to B. So a free plant for them and an ideal situation. And Henry.
Hi.
You know, we've been talking about players' names.
Okay.
You know, how do we say this? How do we say that?
Yeah.
It's Zipnix, bro.
It's not. There's a video on YouTube of him saying it's Zipex. You guys got it wrong.
It's Zipnix, sorry.
But because you say so? Or
Yes.
You won't even let the guy have enough dignity to have his
No,
name pronounced
because
correct?
that guy... We talked about this a long time ago, Star Series last year, where I went up to him and I asked him, I was like, dude, is it Zipex or Zipnix? And he's like, actually, I'm just trolling everybody. It's, you know, I don't care what you call me, but I say Zipex because everybody's saying Zipnix, so now it's just like messing with everybody's heads. Okay. And I'm like, Zipnix, you're one twisted, you know, SOB, like you. So the guy actually doesn't care what you call him, so I'm just sticking to Zipnix. We called him Zipnix for years. I mean, I'm not, like, why would we change now?
Well, there it is. His comrade Device is going to open things up. It was Snacks going very aggressive there towards middle. Didn't really have much to work with, to be honest. He's just going for a straight up face. He gets taken down. It's quite an easy pick for Device there. Now they can once again slow things right down. Neo has got the AWP, so it's going to be up to him to try and make something work here. Currently just rotating between both bomb sites and seeing where he should be set up here. But right now there's nothing really to call. The CT's not really much to work with. You can see Astralis is holding right back in towards connector now, just slowly dissecting the map and seeing what's available. Once again, they have 4 smokes, Molotovs. As soon as they want to, they go into a bomb site. It's going to be equal exchanges, and the CTs don't really have much to hold them off.
No, they don't. They still have 2 players holding on that B site. Very passive hold. And Neo's trying to get into position where he might be able to rotate back quickly. He's already in bank, right? So he could try and head down. And there we go. The call comes for the rotation. 50 seconds left, and Astralis are pushing onto this B site. And Bialy, Taz, they're trying to do the best they can to hold this off. But that smoke goes down, and there really isn't a whole lot Bialy can do to stop this plant from happening. Device trading kills. Taz is there, but it's just all swinging Astralis' way, and Pasha doesn't even have time to actually rotate in here to have an impact.
Yeah, they're having to play so passive. They're just hoping they can hit the shots as they come in there, but they're smoked out position. The Rams Molotov, they're getting flashed off as well. Up is smoked out. No one can really rotate and help up. It's the thing, you need the flashbangs, you need the smokes to kind of choke them as they're coming out. They're going through into a grey screen. It's a very difficult affair there for VP, and it's just going to be Pasha alive. Now, should be able to get one out of this. Does take down Zipex or Zipnix, whichever way you're inclined. I know which way I am. The normal way.
You're the right way, Zipnix.
Yeah. It's going to be Pasha that goes down in the end. Device with a pretty stellar round there. Picked up 3 frags. Opened it up, taking down Snacks as well. And of course, VP now a maximum loss bonus. So $3,400 coming to your account. But when you're on the CT side, that's not that beneficial. You can only really go forward with a partial buy, also known as a quasi. As they get the CZs, 5.7s. They have a couple of smokes and some body armor as well, but it's just kind of trivial at this stage. The way Astralis are playing, I don't see them dropping or allowing them to have any footing into this round.
No, especially because now they've got that buddy system in again. Cajun B, he's the only one on his own, but he's in a position that he can quickly back off if he spots multiple people trying to rush him down. So this is looking pretty solid. Zipnix is not in the best spot, though, but he will get a good spray onto Taz, and that's going to set it up nicely here for his teammate to come into play. Device will get the job done with the CZ-75 in the end. And once again, it's, you know, Pasha biceps, all by his lonesome. But, you know, again, Dupree, he's not get right. He's merciful. He puts him to rest with his mates, and we can move on now into the 8th round where the VP might actually be able to have an impact here. This is going to be a big buy for them.
Well, this is the thing. Now they can finally stabilize the economy. It's been 7 very quick rounds, I have to say. But Neo with the AWP, they've got all the incendiaries, the smoke grenades, the flashbangs. There's everything they need to work with. They can afford to be a little bit more aggressive now, getting towards connector, smoking off bench, trying to get a boost up towards middle and trying to get that first pick. It's been Device has been controlling them so far, but once again, looking in, seeing if anyone is showing that aggression so far. It's going to be one player in the form of Snacks going down towards connector and seeing if he can find the first pick there. It's going to be Cajun B, smoked out for now, but he's aware of the situation and sends players there. And actually going to maybe get some shot through the smoke there, but no one taking any damage just yet.
That was a fantastic wallbang, actually. That is massive damage to Bialy, at least. And, well, Angle is there, and he's not able to control the spray cage, and he gets just jumped by Snacks coming through that smoke. Snacks going for Snacks plays, basically. But the rest of Astralis, they're going to be pushing up long. Zipnix, he gets picked off at B site. He was supposed to be the distraction there. And now, well, that single Molotov has completely screwed everything up here for Astralis. They were hoping to be able to sneak their way out onto the site. Now that Molotov buys the valuable time here for VP to get back into position. Flash goes out, nade as well. Just throwing everything he can right now, Pasha. If he had a fridge, he'd throw it too. But it's just going to be Device and Dupree. And, well, Dupree's doing pretty damn good work as the entry fragger. He's even got the Molotov to chuck behind Optimus. Snacks, he's actually going to be able to live through this, though. He can just crouch there and hold that angle on long. And Device, he nearly gets picked off. And now it gets kind of nasty. He actually does get burned alive. How are we back into a 2-on-2 now? But Neo, he got spotted.
Takes the bomber down as well. 2-on-1 Device just for the orb. And not really much to work with now. And that's going to be it. So that's the effect now. You can see VP looking a lot more confident that round. Neo's able to go towards Monster Tunnel, get that first pick. They've got nades to actually challenge certain areas. They can be a little bit more aggressive towards middle, getting players in connector. So that's how it should be going down here. Now you can see they finally stabilized the money. They actually have some options available to them. Going for a double orb now as well. So they're going to be mixing things up. As Pasha's going to be picking one up. I assume, well, I was going to say I thought he'd be going towards B himself with the spawning head. But let's see what Neo's going to be going. He's presumably facing Monster Tunnel here.
I imagine he will be. A flash in to help him, perhaps? Yep, there it is. And Zipnix was full flash, but he was too far back, so Neo isn't able to actually get that angle. There's the attempt, at least. Trading shots. And, well, in the meantime, it's still 2 players pushed into sewers, so now Neo's in a bit of a tight spot. Smoke is going to have to get used by him because he needs to find a way out, because if you lose control of short, things could get nasty. Little do they know, Device has been boosted up. Bialy only realizes just a second too late. And now they have that man advantage, Astralis, and they're all poised. They're ready to go pouncing onto this B site.
Well, flashes have gone on and the Molotovs as well. Smokes will be coming in, and Neo did have an opportunity, but flashed out just as Dupree faces. He's so strong in that short area, and he gets the shot. And Carrigan, with the AWP this time, not Device, seals the deal. And it's only going to be Taz on the bomb side now. Managing to find one. Make it 2, actually. Making things competitive, at least. He's still smoked out of position, but they have a kid on Snacks, and if he can find one more kill here, definitely workable, but unfortunately it's going to be Dupree that denies him. And now just Snacks, not really many options, as he will just be opting out. That's the full reset as well after winning 1 round, losing that loss bonus, only be going in $1,400 next round, so he needs to save this orb, just to give him an option next round to find a first pick and maybe swarm a certain area.
Yeah, I mean, 2 players survived in the last round for VP, so that, yeah, their money is just not going to be good.
No, 3 players on $0. One Pasha's on 1,000, Taz is on 1,600. Yeah, there's literally nothing to work with. But the orb opens up some windows at least.
They spotted him. They know where he's playing from, but unfortunately for Astralis, they did not go down by snipers. So there's no way for them to catch on to Snacks, and so he will actually be able to hold on to that AWP. Wonder at Neo, he's only got the 1,400. This is almost a double eco scenario, though. So it's like you could actually just go for the force buy here if you're VP. Try and play off that op, or have Neo, you know, invest in the Kevlar and drop the op to him. No, that's not going to be the case. And so VP, it's just spread out across the map trying to play it standard. And Neo, he is going to be, you know, still again going down by Monster. And it's going to be that old Beta Rune kind of play, but then Dupree and Device just shred them. Not a whole lot that they can do. Taz is behind the sandbags, though, so there might be an element of surprise there. He might be able to peek out, or he might be able to whiff every single shot. It's one or the other, Henry. I mean,
well, it was one or the other, and it was the latter that prevailed in the end. It's just going to be Snacks in the same position, similar scenes to what we saw at the end of last round. He has got the open hand still, but it's a pretty simple affair for Astralis. And just to point something out here, Anders just tweeted me saying, he's tweeted me saying, it's nice to see how far Henry has come with the obvious disability of being a Source player. Like, say, I just wanted to reply to that and say, look who's playing on the server right now, Astralis. Literally all Source players minus Carrigan. So
they're not literally all. Literally.
Well, no. But I'm just saying.
You gonna mess with my boy, Henry?
I'm just saying.
You gonna mess with my boy?
I'm just saying.
Sitting right next to you, bro.
It's just a different game, guys. Can't we all just get along? Like, why do we have to have this wall up? Why is this division? Like, we're all friends here.
We're all CSGO players now.
Yeah.
Well, we are. That's true. That's true. CSGO is the great uniter.
Just don't know why he's firing any shots at me. That's a nice little boost from Device. Gets himself in the 3rd in the pack, but yeah, I just wanted to just talk about that.
Anders, you know.
Found it a bit rude.
He's
the obvious disability of being a Source player. Anyway. eco coming in pretty much for VP. It's 9-1. That's the hard reset. And this is looking like a abysmal half compared to what we saw yesterday.
Absolutely.
It's not so much what they've been doing wrong, it's just the economy has just been out of control for them. After they lose the first gun round, it's never really been able to stabilise the cash. You win one round and you lose that. It's just so difficult to control these sort of situations.
No force buys, nothing really to... Yeah, exactly. And the force buys haven't been effective either. So VP, trying to play standard, trying to gamble. No joy basically anywhere here. So I'm kind of curious as to what they can really do or hope to accomplish here. I'm just hoping that they've been putting some work in on their T side because, a couple of good rounds and then they control Astralis' economy and then we could see a similar thing unfold. Yeah, we're pretty far from that right now at least.
Well, Astralis taking things nice and slow here. They're going to be just making their way up through bathrooms. Got control of long A as well. You can see one player in the form of Cajun B just holding the flanks as well. The problem is there is Pasha towards the connector area. He's undetected so far. Something to talk about, I guess. Mm-hmm. do you want to elaborate and see where it goes?
Talk about Pasha.
Yeah, build it up, build the tension up. He's going to do something with this.
He is actually going to do something.
Yeah.
He's going to do something.
See, there it is.
Yeah, waiting for it.
He does a bit of damage.
Waiting for it.
A bit of damage.
I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
Yeah, but look how many low HP played. He's won this round.
He's got this, you think?
Yeah, he's done.
I mean, if he'd have peaked right there, that would have been pretty sick. Sure. But now...
He's literally got no bullets in his season.
Go off of Pasha now. Go off of Pasha. Like, don't. Nobody saw that, Pasha.
Oh, damn. Well then, 10-1 in favour of Astralis, and finally we do have money for VP once again. They were running a double orb setup before. This is actually going to be going for full rifles across the board. Bialy obviously can't buy an orb with that money. He'll be onto an M4, and I'd like to see a little bit more creative play here. Maybe pushing off short, flashbangs, trying to get that first pick, lock down the short area and see if you can just get some control of the map, back it up from connector as well. Let's have something. Let's take the game to Astralis here.
No, they got cold feet. I was thinking perhaps they might go into connector there because initially at least there was going to be a little bit of a push
Taz
there.
has heard me.
But yeah, Taz has decided to take over sewer. He's got Bialy backing him. They tried to do this once already, right? And that's when Bialy got wallbanged down. So, I mean, VP, at least they've got this going for him. Only problem is they're going to get peeked by two people at the same time there. So, I mean, Dupree took the brunt of that damage, but he still had a mate there to back him.
Well, Bialy's trying to get the reply here as well, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. His player's a connector. He's getting flashed off. That smoke's not going to help you, my friend, as he does get absolutely obliterated by Zipex, and it's going to come into a 5-on-3 now. Full control of Astralis, and looking like they will take that 11th round. It needs someone to go huge here from the Polish squad.
Okay. This is what we can say about Pasha. With biceps that big, I would have expected him to be able to at least help VP get out of this Richard Lewis right now. and take the fight to Astralis.
Yeah, it's edgy at least. I like it. And
Astralis, they got him locked in there, man. There's no getting out. VP,
the sleeper.
They're struggling. They're struggling right now. But
tapping out, is it?
Pasha's a big guy, Neo as well, and it's just not helping him.
Well then, Snacks trying to step up here, but he will be taken down as well. And this is turning into a bit of a one-sided affair, I have to say. It's going to be 11-1. And Neo, the last remaining player, did drop his Apex, but he is definitely detected now. And Dupree, a little bit of out of position with the bomb, but making his way towards A, has plenty of time to get it down as well. So just Neo now, you feel like he has to try and do something with this, but it's just literally impossible. What can you do? You've got no kit, no utility, just an M4, 3 players to find, a bomb to defuse. It's just everything stacking up against you, right? Just save the gun, I guess.
I suppose that is the only thing that you can really hope for at this point.
Oh,
what are we looking at? 11 rounds here. I mean,
there'll be a fourth
again, they're going to get reset.
No, there'll be a 4-stage loss to after this.
4 rounds. Yeah.
So they're $2,900, and no one's got any money, so they have about 3K total. So they probably get
Quasi?
I think they're probably forced at this stage.
Straight force, especially if Neo holds on to the
It's getting to the point where it's just like you're getting to the point in no return. I guess you could take another round on the chin and do something like that, or you say, well, we need to win the rest of this half. We need to do something with this. To be honest, there's no real right answer. You can't just say, oh, you should do this, you're going to win. It's just like whatever you feel like. So yeah, about 3.2k average on the team. With the gun they've saved, I'd say just go for it. See what you can do.
It's enough. She's at Arbor. I mean, that or you just decide to end it quickly, painlessly.
Actually going for the more conservative approaches.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to let Astralis get up to 12, and then they'll let Astralis get up to 13.
So, you know what? That's enough. We're taking 2. Well then, not really much to report this round. I can't see it going any other way apart from Astralis. They've gone for a double orb setup now, so Device and Dupree with an orb. So that's an interesting scene. He actually picks up the first frag as well.
It's a little known fact, but Dupree actually wants to be an opper.
What, has he told you this? Or?
Yeah. He's just like, if we didn't have so many oppers on the team already, because this team is like, apart from Zipnix, it's like literally everybody can op. He would be opping, but he's just like, now he just takes it, I guess, when they want to mech around. That's actually kind of fitting for Dupree. He likes to horse around. He is a bit of that jolly,
we're going to see
happy-go-lucky guy.
The classic TSM overpass setup in B, where they kind of praise towards Zipex. You know what I'm talking about? When they're at the B bomb site.
Who's that?
Zipnik, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the play I'm talking about?
So they raise him up triple stack or what?
No. So they all go to the B bomb site and then they all sit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know what
they worship him.
Yeah. it's like
they should worship him. Honestly, he's the best player on Astralis right now.
He's the way he's playing right now. Like, it's actually really incredible to see how someone can who is heralded as a support player is actually one of the most influential fraggers right now, and clutches as well. Actually winning them round after round. I think the roles in CS:GO, we look into a little bit too much of how we should label people and stuff like that. I don't think you can pigeonhole people so specifically.
It depends. Like, some players, they tend to they say, okay, well, I set up the plays. It also kind of comes into it where you're just going to have the horrible positions where it's likely you're only going to get that one kill and die, if any, right?
Yeah.
And Zipnix plays in those positions and he thrives in those positions. That's the crazy thing. I think that's what has to be the most impressive. It's not only his ability to clutch, but it's just like he gets the short end of the stick, and it's his job to get the short end of the stick. And he still just thrives in that. Boom.
There it is. After Snacks did get the man advantage.
Sorry, but bam.
Yeah, there you go. Now, you can't have someone else's catchphrase. You have to have your own one. Boom is not good enough. That's not original.
Well, I already have one. It's boop, But
what is that? What's boop?
It's when it's like, somebody just slowly walks into somebody's crosshairs, and then there's just like, it's just like, ha, 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 like boop.
No, but okay. I'm not sure we can really sell that to a company. We need something we can trademark.
Oh, yeah, but that's like a hype moment, dude. Just for some random ass thing like that. I mean, come on. I'm not going to be like, oh, are you kidding me?
Oh.
Device 1 kill.
Boop.
No.
Well, Snacks
yeah, exactly. Boop. At least it's cute. It's like boop.
Snacks has got his second kill of the round. It is going to be a 4-on-3 in VP's favour, but obviously this round means everything. They need to get this going for themselves. Zipex does take down Bialy. Taz chiming in as well. 2 players remain now. 15 seconds as well. They need to try and get this bomb down, but the problem is Taz is waiting there. He does take down Dupree, and now Occasion B. Not really many options, I'm afraid. Going to just be timing this one out. And finally, VP, the second round here, as we are in round number 14. Looks like Asian B just wants to dive, and he's going to give it to them as well.
I'm surprised that they allow him to do that. It is a small thing, obviously.
At this stage, they've got so much money, it doesn't really matter. You're going to the last round, right?
Yeah.
They're going with 3 orbs, similar. Oh, no. They've got one.
Quad up.
3. They'll leave some AKs in spawn.
Triple.
So they'll go for the picks, and they can back and get the
Astralis, are you really showing mercy versus Virtus.Pro right now?
Is this showing mercy
This is showing mercy.
Taking the proverbial? I think it's like you're just kind of messing around.
It's a bit of a mix, really. To be honest, right now, it is so close at the top, and round difference matters. If there's a tie, how decisive your victories have been can have an impact down the line. So if you give up this one round because you were horsing around and getting 3 ops, that can come back to bite you. Or Dupree can just lay waste in front of whatever.
So yeah, that your philosophy there is
okay. In an ideal world,
all right,
where Dupree isn't a ridiculously good entry fragger,
yeah, he is sick.
That could come back to bite you, right?
Well, Pash is making a case for them at least, and unfortunately does get taken down by Cajun B. Just Snacks now. He had a fantastic round number 14. Unfortunately, he won't be able to do much of this. 3-on-1, obviously, no option but to go for it, but no kit here as well. Needs to stop them getting the bomb down, ideally. It hasn't been planted yet. He's going to be smoked out for now.
Boom!
Okay.
Nice shot.
That was pretty sick.
Nice shot. Yeah, that was pretty slick. You see, that's the thing with Astralis, though. They're such a versatile team. This is always like Thorin's catchphrase, where it's like, on paper, this team should dominate. They have everything that they need here. They have a ridiculously good clutcher support player in Zipnix. Everybody pretty much can op on this team, so they're capable of all sorts of different kinds of strategies. They have a great in-game leader in Kerrigan. They have star power. They have a crazy entry fragger. It's just... Why aren't Astralis going toe-to-toe every tournament with Fnatic?
Well, they are.
And dumpstering Fnatic.
They're not dumpstering them, but
why aren't they?
The grand final was 16-13, 16-14, I think.
2-0.
Yes.
2-0.
But Fnatic, like, that is not, you're making it sound like they're miles behind.
2-0. And they threw on Dust too. Come on, let's be real.
But I'm saying, like, they are competing. Like, they're getting better. Like, they're getting closer and closer each time. Like, to take down the best players in the world, these things do take time. And it's coming. Next
Why are you
major.
making excuses for them, Henry?
I'm not making it. What excuse have I just made?
What? You know, like, oh, but the scores were close. The scores were close.
Well,
What?
you
You
have
are
to-
a child of 2016.
you have to talk
you're the
about-
kind of guy who would give a trophy to everyone just for participating in the tournament, right?
So what?
You're all special snowflakes in my eyes.
So you're saying the game we're watching right now, 13-2, is comparable to a 16-14. Like, if that was a similar scoreline, you don't think the scoreline's representative of the game at all, how close it was? You think just a win or a loss? That's the way you see it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we can agree. I'm glad that we
right.
can agree.
Okay. So this game is just an unlucky loss for VP.
Yeah, because Fnatic don't care what the scoreline is.
Okay. They just want to win. Let's
Yeah.
have the trophies.
And Fnatic are like 10 rounds behind. They're still a threat, right?
Yeah.
It's like old 2013, 2012 NIP, where it's just like, actually, NIP are 10 rounds behind. Oh, they won the map.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could have been a close game. Wasn't a close game. It was inevitable. And Fnatic, the way they play right now, feels like
I agree with you.
doesn't matter what the score
I know,
is.
I
Those guys are
absolutely
gonna,
agree.
those guys are going to make you wish you'd never been born.
I agree in that respect, but I feel like you're doing Astralis a little bit of a disservice by saying like they're miles behind right now. It's like
They are miles behind, though, because they should have won both those maps, Henry. Didn't matter that the scores were close. They should have won both of those maps, and they lost both of those maps. Astralis, what are you doing to me?
Do you want them to win or not? It doesn't sound like you do.
I actually do badly
Okay.
want to see them win,
Okay.
just because of this, the how this team is built. It's a really sick team. But then again, I mean, it's so tough. It's just fun that we have so much like at the top of the food chain now. It's not
Yeah.
just like this one team like it was, or two teams, right, that are competing, and it's always neck and neck between the two of them, right? But then there's such a huge gap between all the rest. It's like the top 6 teams right now, and see,
Yeah,
like
sure.
any given day they'll win. It just so happens that right now it's like, you know, every day Fnatic wake up in bed, they're like, oh, I'll just win a tournament today.
It's making that sweet, sweet Skrilla every single event. Have they lost an event since Dennis
No,
joined?
that's the thing. They are now, again, not only are they the team, so 2 of those players on that team have won 3 majors. Now that whole roster, pretty much, apart from Dennis, obviously, has won back-to-back majors.
Yeah.
And now with the new roster, they show up and they win 5 tournaments in a row. The 5 tournaments that they've participated in, they won them all. It's like, get out, Fnatic.
Yeah, that's kind of sick.
Like, these guys
That's
make records
that's
like it's just, you know,
incredible.
walk to the corner and I'm going to buy my newspaper in the morning. Like, they just, oh, yep, oh, there's another record. Nobody's going to match them ever. Like, 87-0 NIP don't have anything on Fnatic. Like, Fnatic
agree.
are just so head and shoulders above everybody else. It's insane.
Well then, we go into the second half here. It is 13-2. It's a straight up B rush from VP. They actually get the first kill as well. Karrigan drops, and the bomb site's pretty much open, you know. They actually have to surrender a little bit while the rotations come in.
Wise.
Yeah, well, I was about to say it was wise, but Zipex comes in with a double headshot and brings it into a 3-on-3. Occasion B still pretty far away here, but Device towards upper will be looking for frags. The problem is they went full armor, so no kits available, and need to make something happen very quickly here.
Oh, I like it. The little decoy fake there
Yeah,
coming
I
out.
like decoys.
Cute. More decoy fakes, and then Cajun finally hits the headshot. But again, Zipnix, he is the linchpin. He's the key player that made this all possible. His Device close in, and Piali, he's doing the best that he can, but it's not going to be enough. Look at that, though, Henry. They fall back at the start. Karrigan, he gets caught, but then Zipnix, instead of trying to challenge, instead of trying to face, boom, he falls back, waits for the rotation, and gets 2 headshots. It's so, so beautiful. Oh, what's going on here?
We got some more tweets coming in. Please, man, please, man. Is this even real? You're sending UK CS to defend? Do I even need to tweet any further?
Wow.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with Anders recently? He's just
Dude,
being...
he goes ham these days,
I know,
man.
he's just gone out of control. Like, he's getting a bit of other stations, I feel. For
He's
someone...
Not, now the thing is, because of he's like a gimp now with his knee, right? He's not able to burn off that excess energy. And so now he just sits on his PC at home like,
It's untouchable as
I
well.
hate this world.
Unbelievable. Wow. Astralis now, you feel like there's one step closer to taking this first map. It's going to be a force buy, of course, for Virtus.Pro. Don't really have many options or any real approach to this one. They've got one AK-47 with that bomb plant. And we'll see what they can do. It's slowly taking over more middle. Got a passive setup from Astralis here. You can see they've actually got full rifles across the board as well. They're expecting this kind of force buy to come in. So a scout on Device. The rest of the guys on M4s and Famises. No kits, but doesn't really matter in this scenario. I don't think VP will get in a position to plant the bomb, although they have got the smokes, so they could do a full execution here. This could actually get a bit tasty,
Yeah, and if the smokes will allow them to get up close, and once they're up close with those Tech 9s, could be a problem here for Astralis to hold this. All great flashes sailing in, and there we go. Snacks, he strikes out that AK, picks up 1 kill. Device, he's holding close. He's just hoping for somebody to make a mistake and get within range of this CZ75, but it's just not going to happen. And once again, Astralis, they have to wait. This is it. They have to wait for Kerrigan to get in position with the flank, and he only gets 1 kill. The rest of his team, those smokes hadn't quite cleared, and they weren't able to jump in on top of it. They couldn't get the full pincer move executed there.
Really nice shot there from Snacks to finish his round off, and it's going to be VP bouncing back. As soon as I saw they got the mid control there and the bar control with the smokes, that was actually a really viable round for them. And then you drop 1 kill as well. Astralis unable to really do anything with that at this point. It's just Cajun B trying to do a little bit of economic damage. Just take down Taz. And he's going to be surviving as well by the looks of things. But Neo kind of hunting him down as well. They need to be very careful. They need to make sure they keep their weapons. There it is. The comeback is on.
Comeback is on. They even get, yeah, exactly. Look at this. They get a FAMAS, they have an AK out of it. That's Snacks, obviously, he started with it. That was a fantastic shot from Snacks, though. That was the key, because Dupree, he was flashed, and then he was just barely caught out in the open. Before he could get back behind cover, Snacks is there to get the headshot, and that started the ball rolling beautifully for VP. So that's the kind of take that VP are capable of. That's what we saw a bit of last night.
Well, then.
I love Astralis, though.
Okay.
Rather than make the nip error of going for the force buy, right? Of trying to force out, trying to go big, and hoping for some kind of Hail Mary play. No, they're going to take their time. They're going to invest in the round a little bit with the pistols, but they're still a threat. They can still get some headshots. You see, Kerrigan on Taz.
Cajun B as well with the M4, and he's coming in from the rotation. It's Dupree and Cajun B. There it comes, and the round's over. It's an absolute disaster for VP here. Just Snacks to hold on. Should be able to find a frag here towards upper potentially, but he's being swarmed, and Zipex takes it. And that's going to be a pistols, not even a force buy, Samla, like you were saying.
Dude, they don't need a force, because that's the other thing, right? When you have that force buy, you're like, you maybe feel a little bit more invincible, like, oh, I've got Kevlar, I can take these fights. You feel, you're living life on the edge when you've only got the pistols, right?
Right. And
sometimes that just unlocks, this hidden beast. It's like when a mom lifts this car off of her kid, right, to save it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, when you've just got pistols, your back's to the wall. There's no going anywhere else. You have to go forward. And Astralis, again, they demonstrate.
You feel like, at this point, VP are pretty much out of this, just trying to make it a more respectable scoreline, I would say. Obviously, we talked about every round being as very important. I think the stage that VP are in the league, I don't think the round difference is actually going to be a problem for them going into this one with like 1-9 now after this. Like, I feel like they're not going to be qualifying for the event. But it's good practice, right? They're going to an event next week. They need to do what they can.
Yeah, exactly. It's all warm up, right? Because you obviously have the MLG qualifiers that are coming up, but then Katowice. That's the big moment where we're all going to be watching to see if VP on home turf are going to be able to show us something special.
We'll all be flying out there on Monday. It's going to be.
Yeah, we will be.
It's going to be on one of the biggest events of the year. I haven't actually been before. I've heard that stadium is very impressive. I can't wait to see it.
Exactly right, because that was the big comparison that was being made, is between Cologne and Katowice last year.
Sure.
And Cologne was just amazing. Yeah. Absolutely, it was just.
That was my first ever stadium gig, and like I've never been so scared of my life walking out there and saying, "Oh my God, there's 15,000 people. This is real life."
No, it was a dream come true, man. That was incredible. Well, all right, hold on. Before we jump ahead here, start talking about tournaments that haven't even happened yet. We're gonna watch Dupree lay waste. He's gonna pick up one. He's gonna get caught by Neo, but it's still a 1v2. With 30 seconds left here, we have to see if Neo's going to be capable of locking this down for his team.
He's the master of clutches, the absolute veteran of the game. Going to be getting a decent plant down as well. Takes a couple of stray bullets through the smoke there, but doesn't really do too much damage. Zipex and Kerrigan on the retake, but you know what? Zipex just puts an end to that dream pretty straight away. And there it is, 16 plays 3. I'm not really sure where we're going to go in terms of analysis here. It was the money situation for VP minute that let them down. They never really got into it. Forced by in the second round, got into that first gun round like Pharmacists and M4s, no kits. And Astralis were just insatiable. Just kept going around the map, working kills all over the place. Device opening it up time and time again. And then once they really got rolling, it was even Dupree was AWPing and stuff like that. So it was just, they got very comfortable. You could see they never really felt the pressure at all.
That is actually one of the challenges, though, when you're having such a good half, is to maintain that killer instinct, that edge. Yeah. Rather than just start horsing around at the end, where you could give up a couple rounds and then maybe that changes everything. Astralis, they didn't do that. At least they managed to keep control, really maximize the rounds, and that round difference is going to be huge for them going forward. Like, you need decisive wins like this in the league so that you have that buffer. Because now, VP, they were already like what, -48, negative.
Yeah, like I said, they're 1-9.
It wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. Now they're even further away. Yeah. All right, well, guys, we're going to take a very short break, and then we'll come back with map 2 between these two giants, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.